Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of Art World Access. My name is Diana Bryson and I am the host. I'm so happy you're here and excited to share some information with you all about the St. Petersburg College Foundation today. As you know, if you watched the last video, they're the whole reason that this entire series is made available to you. So I really wanted to shine some light on them and my team and just give you all a good understanding of kind of the institution that I'm associated with and then the people I'm working for, just so you have a good idea. So the St. Petersburg College, I was gonna say foundation, but St. Petersburg College, we're gonna start with that. It was actually the first two-year institution that was founded in the state of Florida, the first two-year higher education institution. So back in 1927, if you know the history of St. Petersburg of Florida, that's basically when things started popping in kind of the way that I guess you would define the city today. This is kind of when the roots of the definition of St. Petersburg started. And so to know that this institution has been around for almost 100 years, I guess a couple years from now we'll be 100 years old, but to know that this institution has been around since the beginning of the founding of St. Petersburg, it's pretty cool to know that, we have deep roots that are integrated with our community. And just to know that it's part of the identity of the city, I think is cool. And I was supposed to take notes, and I actually did, but I didn't bring them to the table. So if this is the take that makes it, I'm once again winging it. So we'll see if this works. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the mission statement of the college, which basically states that our goal is to increase economic mobility through access to education for people, which I think in terms of looking at local economies, that's something that's really important and something that, definitely when you're looking at a city like St. Petersburg that's being rapidly developed and, if I want to use the G word, the gentrification word, gentrified, knowing that as a curator I'm associated with an institution that's been around for a long time makes me feel better than aligning myself with some of the new blood that's coming in and hasn't been around, if that makes sense. But knowing that the college has these roots, and these roots in helping our local community means a lot to me. And the foundation of St. Petersburg College is actually a really cool organization, and I didn't really know anything about foundations before this. And I don't really want to use the word superheroes, but I don't really know how else to put it. But I really think I work with a team of superheroes who, paperwork superheroes and also networking superheroes. So maybe that's all that we were really that's the superheroes we should have been taught about. But my boss put his role in a really nice way, and he said he fosters relationships with donors in order to match them with their passions. And so he and his team go out and they meet people and they make these connections with the community, and they show them the direct impact that their donations make as they are associated with the school. So that's basically a little rundown. I'll also link below because obviously if you want to read about it and get to know more, the website is there for you, and I can only explain so much. But I did want to mention the way that the foundation art collection came about, because obviously, how am I a curator for a foundations team? It's kind of a weird thing, but you know what? We're rolling with it. So back in 2009, after the financial crisis, there was an institution called the Gulf Coast Museum of Art. And if you're from the Tampa Bay area, it's actually where Creative Pinellas is now, so over in Largo. So this institution unfortunately couldn't make it due to the financial constraints that were placed on them after the crash, and our president at the time got together with their director, and they were both like, what are we going to do with this art collection? We need to give it to somewhere that can display these pieces and take care of them for the entirety of their lives. And the college ended up accepting the collection and giving the foundation the role of taking care of it. So that's kind of where I come in. So a lot of our collection is from the Gulf Coast Museum of Art. Through the years, previous curators have obviously acquired new pieces and recommended, us to kind of expand our collection in their own ways. But much of it was from the Gulf Coast Museum of Art. There is another part of the collection that's also pretty substantial, about 500 pieces, that is a Canadian print collection that came to us from a connection with the Petersburg College Foundation. So it's kind of like a mismatch of Florida people meeting and being like, what are we going to do with this collection? So when the Florida Gulf Coast Museum of Art closed back in 2009, we have the Lipa Ratner Museum, which I briefly mentioned, and they acquired a lot of the bigger name pieces that they knew were going to take a lot more work to just conserve and take care of. So they got a big part of the collection during that time, and then the rest of the pieces were all funneled down into the foundation collection, which is what I'm in charge of. So we have about 1,500 works, lots of works on paper, lots of paintings, we have some sculptures and things like that, so it's kind of like all over the place in terms of, I mean, not really all over the place. If we're talking about an art collection, all art collections are all over the place, but that's kind of like what we specialize in. So yeah, I think that gives you pretty much what you need to know. And before I go, I do want to mention the emergency fund that our foundation is doing. I just thought it was really amazing to see my team like spring into action right as all of this COVID shenanigans started to happen. I know shenanigans is like not the right word to use right now, but also I don't know, the COVID crash, I guess we could call it at this point. But the people on my team really rose to the occasion in order to help our students succeed, even though that they've had a loss of income. So we have this emergency fund that everyone in the foundations department, I mean, not me, I'm working with the art and like trying to help them in my own way, but everyone in the foundations department has really just like snapped into place and really started to work towards this emergency fund and have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to help our students just pay their bills when they've had like, you know, financial restrictions during this time. So if you're interested in donating to the foundation and to our emergency fund, I will definitely link that below just so you have that information, and I'll also give you all the links that you need to know for the college, because obviously I can explain a little bit about things in my Diana way, but if you really want like more information on everything, our website is the best resource for that. But in the next video, I'm gonna probably introduce you to one of our artists. He's quickly became one of my favorite artists studying this collection. His name is Lipa Allen. Obviously, if you know the Lipa Ratner Museum, he had a role in making that happen. So I am very excited to share that with you in the next video. And if you have any comments or questions, obviously link them below, and I'm happy to address them, and I'm thankful you're here, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.